Oi, oi. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Dublin Racing Festival, a big weekend of action, and I am betting accordingly, right? There are, well, there are some good bets this weekend, I think, to be had. You're going to see now, I'm going to peel through them. Now, I'm sharing my screen. I've got places to be. So I will pull all the bet slips up. They're going to be in no particular order, but I can run through what those are. I have dropped all the horses that I've bet in the description for going forward, including the rolling return on investment on there as well. Just at the top of the show to update that profit and last all my bets video I did, 150 quid went out. We only got 42.50 back, so 107.50 loss, a 72% loss. That brings the rolling return on investment. We're up 450 quid essentially, a 13.5% return on investment. You're going to see how much is going out on Saturday and Sunday though. Typically, I'll only show you the Saturday bets I have got on early. Was waiting for one to be priced up. We've done those. We are where we are. There is 665 pounds going out this weekend. 425 pound of it is on the Saturday. So I don't really think there's anything else to say. Just make sure you do like the video. Why not? Drop a comment with what your best bet is, or just to say hi, because that's nice as well. And please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Maybe the best way to do it, right? You know, I do the GG weekend watch. Please go have a look at that if you want. There will be a handful, I mean, a good few little, like £12.50 bets. Now, I say little, right? Everything's relative. I'm not showing you my stakes to be like, oh, Barry Biggs buds. You guys will know that watch this regularly. I'm normally like £25 a point. I'm trying to do better with the races that I'm looking at and having a small interest in for the sake of an interest, and then getting stuck into the ones that I want to get stuck into. So there's more to fancy this weekend for me, so you'll see a few larger bets in there, but you will see a handful of these little £12.50s. And I touched on this on Rant and Racing on Monday, especially with what Jamie said before, and especially with me looking at my profit and loss sheet, speaking to other people about it as well. I know I probably need to just cull out a lot of the crap ones to increase the overall return on investment, but we do what we do, right? I'm a fan first, punt a second, try and make some money out of it, but you know, some of these little wildly ones, you know, I might fluke a winner every now and again. So let's just run through them, right? As I say, no particular order. It's just be when I can peel them up. Varying stakes. I don't even know if I've got the Saturday and Sunday in order, but it is in the description below if you just want to copy, including the stakes that I've had and each way. I haven't listed prices though. It is what it is, right? So I back Path de Rue, £50 each way, and I had 25 on Foxy Girl. The Foxy Girl one, I'm a bit meh about, to be honest with you. It was kind of a holding bet, but I don't know. I don't really like it. But anyway, I've got it on, right? So there is £25 in the first race, Foxy Girl on Sunday. And then the Path de Rue bet, we talked about this one. I quite like him. Now, you'll see I've got 6 to 1. He isn't that price now, but is what it is. I backed him there, the 100 quid. You'll see it doesn't add up to £700, right? So I had this horse somewhere priced between 5 to 2 and 7 to 2 by betting him a little bit earlier, 6 to 1. That was, I think, yeah, in the week. It's each way first 4, right? There's only 13 runners in the field, so reasonable each way terms anyway. But the £100 at 7 to 2, which would have been the top of the window, I was happy to go in anyway, would have paid 450. So as much as Johnny Deneen said last night, a chase is like, and especially a horse that's falling, you might not want to bet him each way. I have done for that reason, right? I've got my price window, I've got how much I want to kind of get stuck into something. I've made it fit accordingly. Facile Vega, right? This is not an anti-post bet. This is priced up once final declarations are in. Yes, I know it says the Irish Arkle Novices Chase. It was sat on Bet365 anti-post bet after, right? I've just talked about this one last night as well, right? I do understand how good Marine National is, but this is wrong to me in my mind. The fact that there's a 6-runner field, I don't give any of the others a chance. Facile Vega on his best form would not be a 7 to 1 poke. Whether he's good enough to beat Marine or not, I don't know. But the fact is, it's not costing me a lot to try and win a few quid out of him. He was 14s before. I did have a little bit of money tied up in that short-term anti-post, but I got rid of that when there was the blue on odds checker for the longer race. So is what it is. Fullback. These are one of the smaller, crappy type ones. I think this horse could be an ultimate potential type horse. Running the Fleur de Lis, didn't he? Fell early on. The fact that it's a quick turnaround, I think they're probably just going for a day out. I've just had a small bet on him. I probably should start doing these ones at Betfair SP as well, to be honest. But I've bet him. He's one of those. I think he'll win at some point. He's definitely down to a low enough mark that he can win off. We've got 37.50 on Monmiral running in the Froden Novices Chase. Was due to run Sunday, didn't run. Bryony's on top. You know how much I like Monmiral. I'm not overly keen that the price is massive, to be honest with you, but I do want to bet him, which is why it's 37.50. The equivalent of 1.5 points of mine. You can see I backed Hermes Allen as well. £100 in there, 2 to 1. I appreciate that he's a lot shorter now. I was happy to bet him with Corbett's in there. And again, this was almost like a placeholder type bet, whereby I know it's short-term anti-post, so the cash out's now not available. But from trading on the exchanges, I can lay that sort of stuff. I thought I was happy enough with the price, essentially. He was a little bit bigger. He's 11 to 4 with some bookies and even 5 to 2 in other places. But I was happy to get on. £100 on Hermes Allen. I think he's a proper horse. Perceval Legallois. When we did the preview last night, Jamie mentioned this horse's name. This is in the Sunday race. I just wanted to see if he was debt again. I think he's a little bit shorter now, but I was happy to hold the bet at 16 to 1, £12.50. It says they're smallish stakes, aren't they? And again, I know it's relative. That might be a big bet to someone else. But in terms of what I'm doing, like, there's a lot of these fodder ones, but, you know, they pay a little bit, which is why I flung it in there as a win dart, right? One at the meeting last year. I think he's got a squeak. Will do. Slightly different here. I have backed this one each way. It's extended to 6 places with Bet365. Some bookies are doing 7 places. 14 to 1. I thought it was really eye-catching in defeat after the last, right? And again, you look at potentially the returns and think to yourself, well, Dave, he fancies a bit more. Why don't you have a bit more on him? I like him. It's a big competitive handicap, right? That's enough as a bet to get a few quid back. So will do. It's Gigginstown, even though you can't see the silks on there. I've also backed by Addy Stocks. Declared and with Paul Townend on board. There's another bet later on that I've not just done, but I've done because it's Paul Townend in a handicap. Now, yes, there are no more grade 1 races that he would be riding in of those last 2 handicaps. So there's third and fourth last. No, the third last race and the second last race is riding him, right? Johnny touched on the fact they don't want him to get injured. So I read into this slightly differently, right? And it's not always true, but I like Paul Townend on a Willie Mullins horse and a handicap, right? But Addy Stocks got first-time handicap, dropping into now potential with his graded form, or what they thought of him, to have a chance anyway. And it's probably more likely that Paul's not riding other horses earlier in the week because he has got bigger rides to go on. They don't want him to have a fall or an injury, especially in a handicap chase. But I've had a small bet on him. I think he's okay. Again, it's a little bit punty one, more as a fan. So Scottish is a similar disposition. Strange that they're going back over hurdles, and dropping back in trip as well. But they fancied him a bit in that December Gold Cup. They obviously just went too quick. So maybe this is a stepping stone to something at Cheltenham, maybe like a plate or something. And they're trying to get him to race again at fast speed to get him used to it. Could be a learning curve. Equally, I just thought for the sake of it, if he went and won, I'm happy to take the swing at 16s. If it had been single figures, I probably would have left him alone. Ballyburn, I have had £165 on Ballyburn for the Sunday. It was even money when we did the preview. I talked to Jamie about it after we got off of air. And essentially, I was saying that, you know, I'm tempted to bet him because I know he's going to go odds on. He's only a shade of odds on here, isn't he? But then I didn't want to hold the money in there just for whatever reason. There's a Stonebridge, he's a non-runner. I'd rather bet now that you would get the money back after. So I've had 165 on. Yes, my stakes typically will go within 25-ish. It's a nice round number and it makes £150 profit. So we're in on Ballyburn. I quite like that one. If for any reason he was to drift right and go out to like a 6 to 4 or 7 to 4, it wouldn't put me off in terms of stable fancy or anything like that. It could be because the bookie had a good day on the Saturday. Could be tempted to have a little bit more on him. I like Ballyburn, to be fair. You can see that there. Another one that's, again, from the GG Weekend Watch, but Magical King. I've had £12.50 on this horse. Again, probably could do it at Betfair SP, but I do feel like if it's got a chance of winning, the yard would probably nibble it. So we've had a bit on there. We've got the 4-6s. This runs in the 242 at Wetherby. Now, mate of mine, Aaron's put me onto this horse, to be fair to him. I've had a look at him, and he opened up at 2 to 1 with Bet365. I was waiting for more bookies to open. I was hoping for a bit bigger, but I did say to him in a message, said to him I'd do the tissue. I didn't, but the tissue came up as 11 to 4. I said to him, if it's 2 to 1 or bigger, I'll have a bit on him. Was sat there waiting with the Bet365. They priced up at half-3, and that's why I've taken so long to get this video out. But basically, I'm happy with that 11 to 4. I think that's fair, to be honest. So I've had 75 on him. I was thinking somewhere in and around a 50 or a 75 top end. So I'm happy with the price. I think he's got a chance. Looked to have a nice opportunity. Hermino as well, 33 to 1. It's just too big a price. Again, you probably say, why aren't you betting these horses each way, Dave? I don't want to go 6.25 each way. I'd rather just take the win dart. Yes, some of the play stuff does make a difference in the extended terms, but I don't know. I'd rather do them in doubles and stuff. These are, again, punting for the sake of punting, but Hermino back at 3 miles. Do you think this horse is much better than his mark? He is stepping up to a class 1, though, and I don't think that suits, but I'll just kick myself if he goes and wins. So FOMO type bets. And James Deber is the other one that Paul Townend's riding. I think this horse, I don't even know when he's last won a race or if he even has won a race. I'm sure he has. He lost his novice status, didn't he? But I think he's an okay horse. I think his mark could be okay. One of these days, it's just going to drop for him. The fact that Paul's on board, I think the 13 to 2 was all right. I think he's shortened that in a lot of places. So again, it's a small type of holding bet. So that's everything in there. There's £425 going out on Saturday, £240 going out on Sunday. Obviously, the significant bet on Sunday is Ballyburn. He's the one that I would need really on Sunday to be doing all right. And then you beg the question, Dave, look, why would you just make a £75 profit instead of making 150 by throwing £75 away on a load of trash? I ask myself the same question as well. But I do keep a track of a profit and loss. That's why I'm telling you my return on investment, keeping you guys updated with that. I will review things and assess stuff. But like I said, I'm a punter first. I'm a fan first. Like, I like the race and I enjoy the fact that there is some stuff to get excited about. And typically on my profit and loss sheet over time, these guessy type ones that are at bigger prices, I don't do too bad on. I can trade a few of them as well, but that's not the point of these videos. Anyway, make sure you've liked the video. Make sure you subscribe. Drop a comment below if you fancy it. And I will see you guys again next week.